Hey everybody. Hey everybody. Hey everybody. All right. Actually, I like the hip hop. All right, guys. We are remarkably purple today. I don't know. Sometimes I think the lights of my office just pick random colors. Being an old school Trekkie, that doesn't actually bother me in the least because it looks like the hallways of the Enterprise back there, and I'm okay with that. All right. We are still working, but we are much closer to complete on some of this stuff here. So we are just cleaning up the last bits of this mesh. So what we've got in here at the moment is the landing strut is inside the landing bay at the moment, and we will be pulling it back out in a second here, but I wanted to make sure it fit nicely in the landing bay before we pulled it out. All right, because now we can drop that all the way down, and I want to make sure I'm on the same line. That's this line there, and that is it. There's no more distance we can actually. I do not have Jeffrey's tubes in here. There are access runs. Yeah, so we've got about that much space on top that we can spare on this landing strut. That's it. That's what we got. So that's where we are on the strut. And I've added some uniqueness to make it look a little bit better. Down here it looks fine. Back up front on the nose gear, it looks a lot better with an extra strut piece. Now, with my 3D models, I can't make round things without problems. So these guys are going to have to be all black. There's nothing else I can do about it. Because if you can't make a round object do the fake, the sort of faked line thing that I'm doing. So I love Jeffrey's tubes. They are the coolest things ever. So this is going to be, I've actually kind of cool now because it's all cut open on one side. It looks like those the sort of dinosaur guys that we see in the museum where they've got half the dinosaur, then you see the bones inside the other side. And it's like, I love those guys. Back in the day. So what I've been doing is making sure that they fit very tight and nice, exactly the way they need to be in here, so that whenever I bring them into DAZ, they'll fold perfectly without poking through the top of the mesh. They'll just fold up nice and pretty. Yeah, like a partial. Well, right now it's an exploded view because I've got all the different pieces out because it got weird on me a little while back. And like, I don't know what happened, but it got really strange all of a sudden. There was this bizarre, like it was strange. I don't know. Ian is joining me. Although not yet. Now Kane's joining me. Ah! Ian is frozen. Ian has turned himself off. All right. Kane can do whatever Kane wants to do, man. That's up to Kane. I'm okay with that. John Henry, John Henry. All right. I can't hear you yet, though.
Am I here?
There you are.
Is this reality?
Is this reality? That poor kid, I swear. All right, we're gonna bring this to here to indicate that that's the stop there, and this is the stop up. Stop up. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to do this side. Stop down. There we go. So this is top and bottom. That's all we got. We are totally playing interesting little games with this, but it still works. All right. So since we were last here, he's popped himself out again. He's popped himself back. Since we were last here, I added the entrance to the mecha bay. So there's actually like the static doors that the doors aren't here, but the mecha bay is there because I figure once the landing ramp is down, you're moving along quite a ways. So
how are you this evening?
I'm actually doing great. Kind of moving along here. I've done a lot of fixing on this mesh. It was a pretty big disaster. And I have fixed it.
Are you saying it was a giant mesh?
It was a big, giant mesh. And I'm still seeing problems at the bottom of the wings. I don't think I ever went down here and fixed the bottom of the wings. Good heavens. So, but we've gotten it under control. I think. Mostly.
Maybe.
There are still pieces of it that I'm trying to patch together, and this whole undercarriage needs to be patched a little bit, and that's okay. Let's see, secondary. No, it's just you. You're the only part that's open, which isn't a big deal. How are you doing tonight?
Not too bad. I'm doing good.
That's good. That is good. Yeah, I've been working on this literally since I woke up from my recovery nap, my rescue nap.
Your rescue nap?
So I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep at all last night. Like last night, I slept 3 hours and 21 minutes. I know because my watch told me. So I got up this morning and I went on ahead and just kind of barely made it through this morning's show, and then went right back to bed and crashed out. I started this morning trying to, because this mesh was built the way I was doing it in Daz the old way, which was 27 pieces that I'd import into Daz and then just stick them together and hope that they all flew together in sort of a constellation. But none of them were attached, and you couldn't make a figure out of that. So since we learned how to make figures with the cars for whatever, yeah, I know things do go smoother if I sleep. So since I've learned how to do figures in Daz with those cars, I've been like, oh, okay, well now I need to go back and fix at least the 2 stars of my comic, because they really aren't in good shape. The models weren't in good shape. So they were the first models I had done in years whenever I did these. So kind of makes sense that it was a little weird and a little strange. And no, quite as good as it should have been, and not the world's best model. So that's what I've been doing, and I started it this morning, and then I got all obsessive about it. And so this afternoon I woke up, took my kid to martial arts, and went to the Starbucks and sat at the Starbucks and kept hacking away at pieces of the model. And then came home, we had dinner, and then everybody else wanted to play games. And, you know, they wanted, like, Maya's playing Tomb Raider, and the kiddo has just earned his right to screens again. So he went and did that, and since neither one of them really needed me, I kept hacking at this. So I've been hacking at it now since, you know, this afternoon when I had my emergency nap. And you are messing with your Fotatsu.
Yes.
I've decided that is the coolest name that has ever cooled.
The Fotatsu.
Yeah, the Fotatsu. So I'm going to fix the bottom part of this wing. Yeah, I just want my ship to be solid and stop being stupid. That's all. All right. So I can now see that this mesh is open here. So we're going to fix this. And I think the best way to fix it would actually just be to delete out all of this underside and rebuild it. Because we don't need
Goes well,
two.
Brent. It goes well.
He has a Fotatsu.
Yes, I have built my own Fotatsu. And it is wonderfully warm.
And part of our problem is that all right, here's what we're gonna do. Delete and take these vertices out. That just opens that entire zone right there. And I'm okay with that. Because really, how many vertices are here on this corner? Right? So you two should be 1. Two. All right. I didn't tie you to something stupid, did I? Oh, I see crisscrossing. Why are those vertices crossing? They shouldn't be crossing at all. God, it's like, who built this model? Jeez. It's like combination some idiot would have on his luggage.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's amazing.
It's the same as the combination I have on my luggage. Yeah, those crisscross. That means that there are more than one of you on here. You shouldn't be doing that. Whoa, there's like 3 of them. Good heavens. Wow. All right. Don't like the way that looks, but I think that means that that's actually contiguous. Something isn't meshing properly. Yeah, and And I mean, the cool part about this was that because I took my emergency nap this afternoon, which pretty much took out the entire day, when I woke up and took the kiddo to karate, I came back, and before I got back to work on this, because there's a gap between coming back from martial arts and when my wife comes home, and she usually gives me a holler and says, you know, I'm on my way. And she had, and so I went on ahead and cleaned the kitchen and cleaned the dining area.
There you go.
I have been remarkably productive today. I shall now remark on how productive I have been. So that was really cool too. There we go. I think I have finally sealed its fate. And properly sealed its fate. There we go. That looks a lot better. Now I need to decide whether I want a door hinge. It's like a stone hinge, except different.
And hinges on more things.
Yeah, sealed is a very useful term. And sealed means good things for this particular mesh. And there are times where I'm like, is that sealed or are our normals just screwed up? Because you know, that's not normal. I'm
Or natural.
Yeah, that's not natural. QuaCk Express is. Yeah, that's not what we should be seeing. When did that happen? I think what's happening is I think I might be snagging a vertice or something when I'm trying to move stuff. That's the only thing I can think of. Because, like, I sealed this. This was sealed up really nice earlier today, even. And now it looks all tangled up again.
Did you not save it?
I saved it. I'm just trying to figure out, because it wasn't screwed up like this. It was screwed up a different way. Now I'm trying to figure out how it got here. How'd you get here? Let's pull you out. Let me take a look at how this, because that's, yeah, see what I mean? That's two different. Crossed over like this and folded over like this, which is what's going on, will cause, when I bitmap it, when I start to map this thing, it's going to be all kinds of screwed up. So, because then the mapping will go backwards and forwards on it, and we don't want that. So this is a pain in the butt. However, it is markedly better than the alternative. That's not even a face. Not even a face. There. No more weird from you people. One of the things that did happen was I moved that window aft just a small amount and up. And it was because that window, this window here, isn't aligned with the actual deck. Right? Yeah, professional Jupiter too. I don't know. I've cleaned up this mesh quite a bit. So I'm not sure I agree yet. I mean, I think I am very close to stop screwing with it. But I stopped messing with it before. And then that's why we're fixing it now. Is because of that. So, also, you'll notice that I actually put an engine opening. So there's now an actual engine opening on it for the primary air intake, air breather engines. Those aren't the space engines. We're in atmosphere engines. So there we go. Okay, I think I finally squared that weird whatever away. Question is, see, that's the problem. The problem that I'm worried about are things like this, where it's got that one bright stripe through here. Is that a flipped normal? Is that, or is it just popped out? And I think it's just popped out. Popped out's not so big of a deal.
I love pop-outs myself.
Yep. It's like Popeyes, except different.
More biscuity, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Push that back into that. Oh, just a little bit. And that should help us a little more. But I do think, Brent, you're not wrong. I think very soon we're going to have to stop messing with stuff. I think we are about as close to, but those do pucker. I don't want them to pucker. Because it causes that crap.
Hello?
It's Pepper.
It's a Pepper. Hey,
Hello.
Pepper.
Hello.
Hey, Pepper.
Hello.
How are you this evening?
I'm doing okay. I'm just trying to work some things out. Hey Brent, someone reached out to me to do a charity, a charity oxygen,
Oxygen?
a charity auction, and they need product to go to St. Jude's Hospital.
Oh.
So they didn't tell me I couldn't say anything, so I can talk about it. So I have 5 sketch cards I have to do for the auction and get it to them before January.
Pretty kick butt.
Yeah. Charity oxygen in Colorado does make sense, Bob.
Yeah, I mean, right? I mean, sometimes you just
Does.
kind of need a charity oxygen.
Yeah.
Didn't know we needed that, but we needed that.
I mean, when my family visits, they definitely need charity oxygen.
Yeah. Last time my dad was here, he was on oxygen. And he was so
Was
sad.
it charity oxygen?
But was
Did
it
he
charity
feel
oxygen?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
he
he
was
feel
on
festive?
well, I mean, the VA gave it to him, so I guess kind of in a way. I mean, I don't know.
The sketch cards I'm going to be using for it's the company ones that I used for the company I was working with.
Right?
Earlier this year. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I had the coordinator pick out what I'm drawing, so I'm just starting by writing what's going to be on the back, and then I'll go from there. Still not sure if I should tell them that I agreed, but it's all right.
That is not. All right, now looking on this all. Of course, we're going to have to start calling it your charity oxygen project from now on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because we are consistent.
And 4.
And somewhat bored, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I said 4, but yeah, that works too.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. 'Cause I was like, and we're kind of bored. I mean, Charity Oxygen's the most excitement we've seen in a while. So there's that, you know. How many pictures do you need to make, Pepper?
5.
5.
They're like literally this big though.
Yeah, that's cool. There we go. Yeah, you're still a cat.
But we love him anyways.
Half the things you do are really like, you know you're a big cat. I don't think you realize how big you are. I know.
First of all, when you get a cat as a kitten, they always, like they always think they're a kitten. If you get a cat as a cat, and they've been hardened over the years, they know they're not a kitten.
Right.
Until suddenly they are. And
Yeah.
then you're confused by it.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. Uh-oh. Oh, from edit mode, that's why. Part of our problem is I think it has not been triangulated. That's part of our problem. We have to use the triangulate function to make triangles where there were no triangles before. And that's part of our issue. So, all right. We've done that. It works. Life is good. Birds sing. Flowers bloom. Yada, yada, yada. All's good. Sweet. If you don't use that triangulate function, which I think I had done on the previous version of this, but not this version of it. Without that triangulate function, it's very, it like tries to make everything squares and then cuts little holes out of the squares. Daz doesn't read it that way. Daz will read it then as two triangles and then just cover up the hole. And so I have to then go in and dig out the hole, and that becomes a problem. Not pleasant. All right. I'm pretty happy. I think I'll save.
There you go.
Cool happens. All right. Now we'll double check it. Make sure everything looks right. And then I'm going to go on ahead and execute.
Order 66.
The mirror function. solid. Right? The budget came in. Now we have to do the other half. Isn't that nice?
Yay!
Looks like it's solid. Everything's together. Definitely a plus. Okay. We'll apply. And now go into edit mode and make sure that everything's sealed properly. Looks good along the top of the hull. Looks good along the inside of the hull. Excellent. Landing gear looks correct. Inside the landing bay looks fine. And now the moment of truth, which is, did you hold everything together like you were supposed to? Right? That's front landing gear. Hey, check it. That's what it's supposed to be selecting. Good. I'll bet you it didn't do the gear though. I'll bet you they're together. Select. Yeah, that's fine. I can separate that. That's why we're exploded. Totally fine. But does it curble? It's already curbled. Look at it. It's in like a zillion pieces. That's how you know it curbled.
But does it have a space program?
All we need to do now is put Jebediah in there and we're good.
Yeah.
we're ready. We got it.
Yeah, it was fun earlier today. B. Shimoda's wife contacted me about a present for him for Christmas, so I got to help her out with that.
Sweet.
So I can't wait to see his reaction to this because it's gonna be so cool.
I wouldn't say anything though on air.
No, I'm not.
Shimoda's on
I'm
here
not.
from time to time, so
I'm not. I'm keeping it. I'm vegging it for a reason.
yeah, no. You should be. You should be.
I think his wife would tell you if you blew the surprise.
Yeah.
I don't want to blow because this is cool. I really like it.
Yeah, you don't want to tell all the whole world that he's getting a brand new Corvette. I mean, what?
No.
How'd you know? Oh. All right. Engines on the engine mounts. Does really, I keep thinking about this, and the engine, top part of the engines don't need to be their own piece. Yeah, there's a certain amount of that. There's also a certain amount of, it looks like the God Phoenix from Gatchaman. And it's got, but since I'm a major Gatchaman fan, that is still pretty acceptable. It can look like the God Phoenix. All right. I did. I very much intended it. That is, there's a certain amount of truth to that. It looking like the God Phoenix is definitely of my design. All right. We're gonna do front landing gear. And all of you guys and bring you down to here. So we can select all of this. Make this primary hall. And I feel like every time I do this, I end up with problems. So, because I feel like now, oh, it kept it. Usually it gets very confused at this point. This guy is the consistent one. Yeah.
Oh, that's
I'm actually going to save as 7. So we are now iterating out so that we don't have to worry about it now. Oh yeah, you found that.
Hey guy.
Hmm.
How do you like this for a page transfer? So it goes from this page where she goes, I can feel them. I can feel all of them. And you see this right here to this page. Where you're actually seeing what the magic is doing and how it's connecting. Do you think this conveys enough information between the 2 pages?
I do. That top panel though, the character on the left, I need shoulders.
This one?
Because it looks like a fruit or something. It's hard to discern if that's a human being. So we just need shoulders over there so that it's. But yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I won't set my God Phoenix on fire. I also feel like my God Phoenix is a little bit larger than God Phoenix is in the series. Alrighty. I'm looking straight at the vessel. That means port is to my right.
But do you think this conveys the information that what she's seeing here in the previous page is the same connection that we're feeling here?
Yes. All right, let's do this thing. Because now, when we do this, we should get just not that side.
We're all so quiet right now.
Yeah, this is pretty intense. All right. Now I can start to work on how do we want this to look? How are we doing this thing? How are we doing this thing?
I don't know. I can't work. I got 4 bed rats.
Stupid bed rats. All right. Okay, we've done all of that. Now comes the complicated part. Not like that wasn't complicated. That was pretty complicated. Okay. Texture painting. What? Okay. Oh. You're dumb. Okay. Now it's just white. It's good. It's a good start. Clean slate. We've wiped out all of its material bays. Oh, fighters! She doesn't carry fighters. She just has the one MPV. Exactly. She just has the one. Just
that we know about.
that we
no
know
one
about.
expects the pocket MPV.
It's always a pocket MPV. Stupid pocket MPVs. All right.
Why do I make my panel so dense?
I don't know, man. I mean,
If
really,
they
my
want to be
first.
yours.
What was that?
Because they wouldn't be yours if they weren't.
That's true.
There we go. Oof. Lock that in.
Yes, I agree. But then there are times I go way hard on the detail for a panel. And then I begin to regret my life's choices.
Is that open?
Like the term charity oxygen.
Yes.
Just trying to figure out how you thought that was a good idea.
Because I sent it to Bill earlier today, and by earlier today, I mean like literally right before coming onto the show.
That's technically earlier today.
Yep.
I mean, you're not wrong. Yes, that's true. Bob's observing that we are now back to, once again, Spaceballs with charity oxygen.
Hail Scrooge! Or is it Scroob? I can't remember.
President Scrooge.
That's all I need is to delete one line and have like an entire section just go.
Right.
Because what's happening is I'm trying to describe the rubble with my pen without actually lifting my pen from the thing.
Yeah. I know what you're trying to do.
And it looks really nice. I mean, it gives some nice chaoticness to it that I really like.
I cannot disagree with chaos. I love chaos. I like the dichotomy of chaos and order. Oh, crap. Yeah, it's an anagram of Brooks. Scroob. I actually did not know that until right now. Thank you, Bob. But makes sense.
What?
Scroob is an anagram of Brooks.
Oh, that is interesting.
What's an anagram?
Scroob.
Scroob?
Yeah, President Scroob in Spaceballs. Right? I'm kind of feeling that too. A little bit of a don't. Like, that's kind of obvious.
Yeah, but totally Brooks.
Yeah, it fits so perfectly. Yeah. Wonder if it'd be easier to do these from inside.
That's what she said.
I just moved it.
Wow.
Definitely what it is.
So Musk gave $5.7 billion in Tesla stock to a charity last year.
Okay.
It was his own charity.
It's like, I wonder if he can get any worse. Yeah, he can get worse. So weird. You're like, oh man, just stop, dude. I mean, I guess you can give it to your own charity, but seriously? Like, he's gotta stop. Not helping himself.
Yeah.
He's not the first, person to do that.
No, of course not. He's just a very outspoken, vocal person who does that. That's all. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
He just needs to stop doing that stuff, because it's going to be like, well,
Well, he's already like destroying his own stock.
Yeah. Yeah, you selected something you already selected once. Good job. Doing a bang up job already. Like, it didn't change colors. I wonder why it didn't.
No.
And that's when the crying began.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had smudged ink on my finger and I got it on a white piece of paper.
Oh no.
Luckily, the paper, I got it in time and the kneaded eraser could take up the ink when it's still wet.
Yeah. If you're quick enough. Whoo, that's a rough one, though. Yeah, I did. When they said what was going on last night, they said that it was going to be net positive fusion, and it's not. And I'm like, okay, but we've already done that. That's not a breakthrough. I'm kind of aggravated about it too.
What's going on?
There was a big announcement from the Department of Energy about fusion.
Okay.
And so we've already been doing fusion for a while. The biggest problem is right now, at the moment, it takes more energy than it gives.
Okay.
That's our biggest problem. We can't get fusion to work because Not because we can't get fusion to work. We can certainly get fusion to work. But, you put in, like, let's say 50 joules of energy to get 1 joule of energy out. That's not efficient. It's an inefficient way of doing it. And so last night, they had sort of said people are suspecting that the DOE was going to announce today that they had gotten net positive fusion. And so I was like, oh, that's a deal. That's a thing. That's a big deal. And then today it was like, no, we didn't. We just wanted to say we're still working on it effectively. It was like,
what?
Yeah. So I was like, what? Okay. So you got us all worked up, and then you didn't actually have net positive fusion. Gotcha. Just making sure we're on the same wavelength there.
Wow.
So it was like, this is a big deal for us science geeks. Like, we're waiting for net positive fusion. Now, I think what really is happening is it's another one of those things where the scientists said, look, we are about 2 steps away from that positive fusion. The spokesperson was like, what? I got to go up there and say something. Tell me what that means. And they were like, net positive is when this happens. And then the spokesperson went out and said, okay, this is going to happen, Yeah. I think it's probably what really happened. I'll bet you they really are just a handful of dots away from net positive, but still, it's extraordinarily frustrating that was the way that went down,
Or the other way it could have gone down is they were looking for, fishing for good news.
Yeah.
To put out there.
I think they just want to make sure that we're still working in the collective consciousness. That it's still in the collective consciousness about fusion. Because it is. It'll change. It's going to completely change the way that we deal with energy. Which is cool, but still kind of, it's like, well, that was still a dick move, guys. It's like, come on.
No.
Who knew? Bob's like, that spokesperson needs to be in a different line of work. I'm like, yeah. I'm not going to disagree with that one.
I think a lot of government officials should be in different lines of work.
You're not wrong. Man, that's just so aggravating. I was like, jeez. You guys really did that? Yeah, you're stupid. No.
Has Bill ever talked to you about thorium?
No. Does he have a theory that involves thorium?
Not the theory. He's actually seen them experimenting with
thorium?
With thorium energy. And the output is crazy. And it's cleaner than nuclear.
Well, yeah, but it's not. It is cleaner, but it's still radioactive.
Yeah. But instead of blowing up an entire plant, it's radioactive metal. So it just drops down into liquid and literally cools off and doesn't explode. He knows a little bit better on how that process goes, so I'd
Okay.
recommend if you're interested talking to him about it.
Yeah, I would love to talk to him about that. I mean, runaway nuclear isn't. It's not a clean cut sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, with the way that he was describing, it's like basically when he was talking to me about it, he was like a little kid, very excited about talking about it. So, um, he and he loves talking about it because it's something that he wishes that people start investing in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the but he was like saying something like it produces like 115% or some crazy high percentage of joules are created with the process that they're experimenting and testing out right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Which is cool. That's cool.
yeah, but I forget which country's actually looking into it though.
Well, thorium reactors have been up for a while, I think.
But not in America.
No. It's because it's, I think we have to mine it in China or something. I feel like it's not local, which is part of the
Yeah.
reason we don't do it.
Okay, cool, Bob. Yeah. I think it's considered a better fission or whatever source.
Fission source, you're right.
Yeah, due to the fact of the nature of how it operates, whereas like the way that it can be cooled is a lot faster than uranium, because even though, like I said, it's like a metal. In other cases, it's not just it doesn't operate the same as uranium. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
On a molecular level.
Mm-hmm. There's certainly something to be said about safer. You know.
Oh yeah. I think. Do you know who I think was actually experimenting with it or looking into it and seeing if it could actually work for their country? Japan.
Mm-hmm.
I think was looking into it after the disaster that they had.
Well, the disaster they had was another one of those things where it's not as clean cut.
Yeah, that was honestly, that was kind of a freak thing.
Well, and it really wasn't as much. So TEPCO is the company that runs that reactor, and
a lot of the blame is on them.
It's because there was a tsunami warning, and they were supposed to safe the reactor. The managers called and said, "Should we safe the reactor?" And the boss of the company said, "Well, it'll cost us something like 1 billion yen every minute if we do. So let's not for right now and see if anything actually happens." And that's part of the problem. Was they didn't want to cost $1 billion or 1 billion yen a minute or whatever. I'm making up the number, but it was a big number.
Yeah.
The whole point was we don't want to save the reactor unless we have to, because it's going to cost us a lot of money if we do. And it's like, okay, so that was brilliant, and that's why they're getting slammed for it.
I mean, no offense, but I kind of agree that they get slammed for it.
Yeah, me too. I'm not even. I mean, my buddies had to run for the hills. You know what I mean? Like, I lucked out. I don't have anybody who was killed in that disaster, but because of Fukushima Daiichi, my friends were running for their. They ended up, like, some of them ended up in Nagano, and they're like leaving because the reactor then, of course, is going nuts and melting down, and it's stupid. Makes me mad.
Hey, Guy, what do you think of this panel?
I'm having a hard time reading the girl in the left. Everything else is gorgeous. I'm having a really hard time. Yeah, I'm having a hard time reading the person on the left. It is the only part of that panel that I'm having an issue with. Because that is, other than that, that panel is exquisite.
Like, is she not standing out enough from the rest?
Yeah, she's not standing out enough. So she looks like, I don't know, she looks like she's a tree in the foreground or something. Part of it is she has a very unique and interesting hairstyle.
Yeah.
Which makes it difficult to read that that's a human being because of her hairstyle. But that's not the character's fault, I mean, so. I mean, I would double check with Pepper to make double sure that I'm just not crazy. I could just be crazy, for all you know.
I've maximized. What am I looking at?
This first panel, how does it read to you?
Those are braids on someone's head, right?
Correct.
The shoulders. Does she normally have? It is a she, right?
Yes.
Okay. Are they normally that small compared to the head?
No. She's actually very broad-shouldered.
Okay.
And maybe I need to bring them out a little bit more.
Yeah, because right now it kind of looks like she's shrinking. And I feel like that's the wrong body language for the words. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Let
Okay.
me try this.
That looks a little bit better. I don't know. I can't see the full view of the panel.
Yeah, give me one moment.
So. That's just the first thing I noticed. So in the center is someone in like basically some sort of magic light?
Yes.
Okay, that reads well.
And it's showering up like a fountain, and all of these little points of light are coming off of it.
Okay.
Because you're going from this panel where she goes, I can feel them, I can feel all of them. And you can see how the panel is connecting her to all of these different people.
Uh-huh.
And then you go into this page where you're actually seeing what the fountain looks like.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and just say that when you're doing the coloring phase, your inks are gonna change. Like you're gonna add different colors to certain parts of it to make it so that it looks more like light.
Yes.
Okay, that's basically what I'm thinking is the coloring stage is gonna improve that panel. If that helps.
Yeah, because I'm going to do some grays in here, some tones. I'm going to paint
Yeah.
in some tones so that this becomes a brighter white.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because like right now it reads kind of like ice with the solid black lines and
Yeah,
nothing else. So like knowing that it's gonna change because of the light effects actually does help the panel a lot for the direction you're going in when I'm viewing it. But that's a crazy hairstyle though.
I like
yeah,
it.
she's a fun character because right now I'm just introducing her, but she comes in more in the second half of the story
Mm-hmm.
after everything goes to hell. She is the part of the second group of magic girls to come in, and she's a friend to Brig.
Okay.
So right now I'm just kind of introducing this character who in the next part takes a very, very huge role.
Okay.
Yeah, putting in the tones really helped because it
Mhm.
also helped.
It helps delineate she's in the foreground. I like it. That helps a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Bill is upset that I keep being able to use the TV and he can't during the day.
Oh, nice. Hey, you working?
Yeah, that helps out a lot.
Yeah, much better. Much better.
Yeah.
I sometimes have to do that with some of the stuff that I'm working on, especially if it's a script I'm working on with Bill, because the way Bill describes everything, like I have to do a hard line on it first, but then he's like, "But there's supposed to be lights," and I'm like, "How the hell am I supposed to do that in a line art?"
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. And somehow her rifle became a pistol, and I don't know why.
I'm chuckling because actually that's exactly what happens in my world all the time. Which is one of the reasons I switched to mechanics, because I was over it. It was driving me crazy. India is the one that's doing the most thorium reactors.
That actually makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, at least for that country. There's like
right.
a lot of people in that country.
No. Object mode. We've got things working. What the heck? Oh, I have learned something new. Kind of creepy. Yeah, what the plus and minus tool does on Blender apparently is more like a select tool. Wild. Kind of interesting.
These pages are taking me much longer to do, but I actually really, really like how they look.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Taking me a long ass time to build this, but on the flip side, it'll be worth it. Every so often it just squishes back to its none texture. I think means that it was already assigned that texture somewhere along. It's frustratingly difficult to grab some of these things. It's like, really? I wish I had a paintbrush function, and I really just don't.
God, that's a fun character to draw.
It is cool. This is enough of a pain that I'm going to actually see if .3D viewport in this viewport? Really? Is saying in the 3D viewport, select texture paint mode in the mode selector in the header. Here's the mode selector in the header. And of course, 90% of these are watch this 20-minute video on how to texture paint, and then get a copyright strike against you because you're watching a video and rebroadcasting it.
I mean, we were already fighting the AI audio giving us broadcast strikes.
I know, that was pretty brutal too.
AI, did I miss it?
Yeah, well, we were having that problem in the very beginning. It turned out that the first person to copyright for a while there, both Facebook and YouTube were doing the first person to make a show got the copyright, and everybody else got a strike. Well, we're all using Restream. We're all using Restream's music. So the first person to use the Restream music would get the copyright, and all the rest of us were kicked out.
Wonderful.
Wasn't even the person who did it didn't even mean to do that.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it was on their behalf.
Yeah, it was on their behalf. It was automatic.
Well,
so they finally fixed it, and we've stopped getting those. But man, for a while there, it was like, really? This is the way this is going to be? Yeah, there's no way to do this easy. That's what we're learning here. I think I'm just wasting time doing this, so I'm going to move on to a different thing.
Hello?
I'm dropping. I'm dying. I'm dying.
Oh no!
If I lose you, tell my wife that I. Okay, it was funnier in my head. Oh well. Everybody's like, whatever. Guy's just being guy.
I was just waiting to figure out where you were going with that.
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I supposed to be telling Maya?
Well, I clicked the disconnect at that moment for that very reason. That was funny. Anyway.
It's alright. It's alright.
I think I'm gonna call it good for tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of work done, which is good.
I'm with you on that one. Yep, and I'll probably call it pretty soon as well.
Well, I mean, there's only 8 minutes left in the stream anyways.
Yeah.
So long as we don't go on a giant conversation after the stream that lasts a half an hour.
That never happens, Can. You say that like we do that, and you know damn well we never do.
No, we only did that last night and the night before.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I would like to discuss something with you guys after the show.
We just got started on stuff because we're stupid.
And then neither one of us wanted to shut up about it because it was an interesting conversation.
Which we will not bring up right now because then we will be stuck in it again.
Yeah.
Just so you people at home
Are
know,
you saying
you're not
you know
doing
us?
this again.
Are you saying you know us too well?
So, what was this conversation about?
No. Danger, Will Robinson.
I'm just kind of curious. Just curious.
I have completely forgotten. You can't even like try to take my fingernails off. I don't even know.
That's a little bit much for a guy.
He hasn't forgotten. He's just not wanting to bring it up.
No.
It's alright.
Because that would bring up another half an hour long conversation. And then we're both going to be up till like 2 a.m. afterward, because that's what happened to me yesterday.
Yep.
I'm like at 2 a.m. I'm like, I need to go to bed, man. I'm done.
Well, it was kind of like yesterday. I left the show early, right? But for some unknown reason, I was still wide awake. I didn't come back on.
Brutal.
Now I know why. I would have been suckered into a conversation, apparently.
Yep.
Yeah, you made the correct decision.
Yes.
You fled the scene early.
So, I got one done for pencils and inks. 2 done for pencils and inks.
Nice.
3 done, pencils and inks. 4 done, pencils and inks. And 5 done.
Alrighty.
So I have everything penciled and inked. Now I just have to send it off and see if they approve it.
I am almost at the point where I'm ready to stand down on this one, but not quite.
So it looks like we have 4 minutes left, guy. Do you want to start that half an hour long deep conversation right now?
Only if we can drag Bob into it, so he's stuck with us for that.
Oh,
Bob's like, what? Wait, what? How'd I get
no!
That's funny.
I'm right here.
Yeah, we have to drag Pep
I
into
don't
it.
mind.
Yeah. Not happening. I am beat. Yesterday was miserable.
Well,
I
mine's
love you
quick.
two very much.
I wasn't joking. I really do have something to talk to you guys about, but it's gonna be quick. It's not a half an hour worth.
Okay, what's up?
No, after the show.
Oh,
Okay.
you want us
When
to
we're
hold
not
up the
streaming to
show?
the public.
Oh, okay. It's for Christmas gifts, isn't it? It's for that Secret Santa. Damn it.
Yeah, but we were not supposed to talk about Secret Santa on air, remember?
Oh, that's right. Damn it.
Raph gets a little bit touchy.
Yep, he starts to cry. Bob's like, I'm not saying anything because of you guys. That's funny. Oh, man. All right. We are coming up on the end of the show, though. That's a good thing. Because we got work to do. We got sleep to do this time. Not work. Sleep. Sleep, guy. Don't get these confused. Will not help. Work, sleep, whatever. So, yep. I got about 1 minute left. I'm trying desperately to select all the underside and undercarriage of the ship. All right. What was that about? Well, that's it. I think we are out.
All right.
Yeah, you said that last night, he says. You said that last night. All right.
And the night before that.
Right. Well, okay, then. What I will do is I'm going to go ahead and clear out. I'll end the broadcast, but let's all hang out here for a minute just so that Pepper can talk to us about Secret Santa stuff.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I will see you, Bob, and I think Bob's all we got left, but there's two others. There's two others watching. So I will see you guys all tomorrow morning, and as always, keep your eyes on the stars. Good night.